Hello everyone, this is Dots Locks, and on today's video I would like to take a little look at the SOUTHORD jackknife and the £8 Amazon jackknife. Now if you're new to the channel you might want to go over to my short section. There is basically a review in shorts in a sense of me going through locks with each profile from each jackknife. But today I just want to talk about how they fared and which one I preferred. So we'll use this one first. So this one I ordered off Amazon, not really to use, really just to see if it was capable of picking locks, because as a rule, like most of us, when we buy our first sets, it's usually one off Amazon or some other similar site, and it's usually a cheap set, something like this, where the profiles are a little, I don't know, exaggerated I suppose. I feel like, especially the hook. I mean, the hook isn't actually as bad on this. Let me just compare the two hooks. So that's the hook on the £8 one off Amazon. Get this hook out. And the only profiles really that I struggled with were the hooks. They both felt big, but let's compare them. I mean, there's quite a bit of difference. I mean, this one has got a slight bit of bend to it at the front, but if I put them, try and get them side by side. To be fair, there's not a lot in it, but I feel like the hooks were slightly too long. I mean, I could feel like I could take the top off either of them, especially this one, and I would get into a lot more locks. I just struggled to get it in the keyway using the tensioner, because the tensioners, they're fine, but obviously you can only really use bottom of the keyway. You can get these in the top of the keyway, but it's a real, you're likely to pop it out and lose any pins that you've set, because it'll just drop out as a rule. If I shorten this one, it will go in top of the keyway, and if you hold it at the right angle you can get it, but the chances of you getting in there and not knocking it out, yeah, I mean, it could work, it does work, it's just not very easy. It's not ideal, or not for me anyway. So I've put them on the, excuse my chopping board, but I tried to put them on something so you could see the actual profiles. But at the two, I prefer this profile for definite at the two hooks. In fact, we'll do a side-by-side comparison because it'll be easier, probably quicker. So, if we get all the profiles out, so I've just looked on, I just Google searched it, to see what the SOUTHORD jackknife looks like now, and literally the only difference is it is now like this set. The SOUTHORD one, the new SOUTHORD one, has a city rake, which I think it needed, but I think that sells for £40 on Amazon, a SOUTHORD jackknife with an extra profile, a city rake profile. And I think that's what probably the thing I liked the most about this one was the fact they had this city rake, because it's quite a decent city rake, to be fair. You see that? It's not a bad bitty really, and the thickness of this, thickness of these pixies. I mean, I think they're about 25 thou. I mean, that's very hard. It's maybe a little bit thicker, but they all performed better than I was expecting, to be honest. And for £8, you can't really go wrong. Excuse me. If I had to pick one out of the two, it would definitely be this one, because I think you're getting more locks. This, though, it was good in a warded lock. It's no good for anything else. Well, I don't pick wafers, so I mean it may be good for a wafer lock, but it's not. If I was going to use it, that'd basically be redundant to me. This was a little too small really to do anything with. It was a struggle, and this was also the hump on it, on the back there, wasn't really prominent enough to do. I've got some other picks, actual picks, snake with a snake profile, and the humps are a lot more prominent, and it makes a massive difference. And yeah, and I'm not really a fan of that hook, I'll be honest. I'm not really very good with a flat hook, and that's not really flat. It's got a bit of a slant to it. So this one, like I say, I think the best I could do with just filing that tip down a little shorter, and that would be perfect. That's got a bit of an odd angle, but it does seem to work. I obviously did a short with using it, but I have used it on a few locks, and it does work. It works a lot better than that one. That one's more of a, it's a lot flatter. Let me just compare the two. You watch, there'll be no difference now. So I'll turn it that way. I mean, I think there's a noticeable difference if you try and get them straight. This black jackknife, it's got a lot. It's more of a prominent hump, but it's got a bit of the top bit comes up a bit weird. But you know, I feel like this one definitely worked a lot better than this one. This one's too flat. It was very hard to do anything with that. But I did open a couple of locks with it, and there is obviously a short of it being opening a lock. But again, I think that profile, the jackknife from Amazon takes the win. So we haven't got a deforest diamond in this one, have we? No, we've got a ball. That's a lot better pick to have on a jackknife in my eyes, for me personally. And I think most people, to be fair, would pick a deforest half ball, I think that is, over a full ball. Depending on what locks you pick, I suppose, but I think the average lock sporter would probably agree. But what do you think? Is it worth £8? Because I think it's well worth £8. And it's quite durable. And I didn't realise, before I got this, when I was practicing with this SOUTHORD, I was screwing this to it, like pushing that right back and screwing it, and it was just coming loose all the time. And I didn't realise I had to put it forward slightly, get it at the right place, and it's solid. What can I do now? That's solid now. But whereas before, I was pulling the profile too far back, and that might have been a bit of an issue. I was having a couple of issues, but yeah, overall, I think that's a cracking little buy for £8. I was pleasantly surprised. So you know, for people out there who haven't got as much money to spend, or don't want to spend as much money on a jackknife because it's just they probably won't use it, then this is perfect, because if you do use it, you've got a decent little jackknife that is functional, and if you don't use it, you've only spent £8, but it's there if you need it. Whereas the SOUTHORD one, I mean, I'm going up, this one is 25 years old, so you know, I have to bear with, but it's not picked many locks because I didn't use it for the last 24 years. So, but I just feel like this one, if even the up-to-date version with the city rake, is the other profiles are pretty much exactly the same as far as I'm aware. £40, so you're paying 4 times, or over 4 times more for this one over this one. And excuse me, functionality wise, this one gets the win in my eyes. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Does anyone else have a SOUTHORD jackknife that they could tell me about, or do they believe it's better than this one? I personally, I think the £8 Amazon gets the win. If you haven't been and seen the shorts, there's a short of each profile picking a lock from both jackknives. So that's it. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope everyone enjoyed the shorts. I enjoyed making them. If you've watched it this far, thank you very much for watching. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. See you later.